Hello, divine souls of earth, and welcome to this week's energetic forecast for the week of May 28th through June 4th. I only have one disclaimer, which is tarot and oracle do not deem you to any realities that you don't resonate with, so take what resonates and leave the rest. And with that being said, let's get into the reading. I have 3 oracles and 3 tarot decks today. Hopefully you can see them. So I'm just going to be pulling the cards on camera and we can talk about them in the end, probably, maybe. So what do we need to know for the week ahead? What do we need to know about this week coming up? Alright, we've got 2 coming. Alrighty. What do we need to know for the week ahead? This one. Okay. What do we need to know for the week ahead? 1 and 2. What? Flip this over. What should we know for the week ahead? Okay. Thank you. We're going to do 3 of each tarot deck. So what do we need to know for the week ahead? 2 and 3. And the last tarot deck, what should we know for the week of May 28th through June 4th? Also, happy Gemini season, everyone. Okay, so I think we're gonna go for the tarot cards first. Let's see, we have the High Priestess, we have the 2 of Cups, we have the 3 of Cups. Okay, interesting. So for this week ahead, I'm seeing romance, question mark. It seems like math almost is coming through, like things are adding up, things are coming to, I don't know, I don't have the words yet. Let's keep going. We have Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Wow, okay, lots of cups. Too many cups. 4 of 6 are cups, okay? We see rest, we see recuperation, and we see play and dance. And then we also have the Devil, okay? We have the Hanged One, and we have the 4 of Wands. Interesting. Let me see what moon is coming. Okay, I was right. So June 3rd is a full moon. Okay, so next Saturday is a full moon, so that's interesting that it's all kind of coming down to this full moon at the end of the week. I'm going to keep going with the oracles as well. Let's see, we have boundaries, okay. We have vibration, right? Makes sense. We have ceremony, it says honor how far you have come, okay. We have job, it says love what you do and do what you love. We have left out with the wolves. Okay, I think that corresponds with the Devil up there. Oh, interesting. And then we also have visions, and I think I'm going to read these 2 probably from the book, but that's a lot of cards. Okay, so this week ahead, to begin with, we have the Devil and the High Priestess. So we have kind of this inner battle or this inner struggle between the ego and the mind, or the ego and the soul. And it seems like your soul really gets the opportunity to come through this week, okay? You get to open or access that third eye perspective. And you get to kind of sit with the depth of the self. You get to rediscover who you are, and it's almost like incorporating the shadow self rather than rejecting it, rather than telling the ego to go elsewhere. It's kind of like this incorporation of the entire self, and that's kind of what's coming into this play, or this even comfort that's coming off. Like even this person, the Hanged One, looks almost comfortable in this position. Like, it's interesting too, we have vibration here, and it has a bat on it, which typically they hang upside down, like, comfortably. So it seems like maybe your relationship with yourself is kind of coming to a point where it feels upside down, but not in a negative way, in a way that you have a completely new perspective. Also highlighting on that full moon that's coming on June 3rd. Wow, okay, that's really exciting. That's awesome to hear, because that means that this incorporation of the ego, and it's even giving kind of like self-forgiveness, this honor how far you've come, as far as a ceremony. It could be a full moon ceremony. If you've never done one, I highly suggest looking into one. Maybe I'll do a full moon reading later this week to help us maybe like prepare for a full moon, or like what to incorporate or whatever. But honoring the self and how far you've come, honoring the ego and how it protected you at certain times, but now it can take the back seat while you're enchanted and your powerful self, your curious self, your self that is okay with discomfort. It's you find opportunity in discomfort now, because you have this like seat of the soul. You're connected. You find divine relationship with the self. You find this, like I was saying, math in the beginning, the 2 + 3, it's like the coming together of the two sides of the self result in this beautiful love story of the self, and you feel comfortable in any position. You're allowed to explore in a new direction, or you're allowed to feel comfortable in things that you might have like seriously rejected previously. Your vibration is obviously being highlighted as well with the full moon, and coming into a relationship with your vibration as far as you are in control, because you are using your intention, because you are allowing yourself to sit with discomfort and find opportunity within it, and instead of feeling victimized by it, you see your vibration rising as sort of like that equation, the outcome of this work that you've been doing. You find your vibration being affected by it in a positive way, or in a self-enhancing way, before I deem it positive or negative. Very interesting. Over here we have boundaries as well. So I think something that's going to be helping you this week kind of integrate the ego and the soul is boundaries, okay? And I think these boundaries are being set within the self. So you might find yourself throughout this week getting to a certain point within your own head, within your own space, your own realm, where you need to set a boundary. So for example, you find yourself in a negative headspace, and you are talking poorly to yourself, telling yourself you're not enough, or something's not working, you're dumb, you're stupid, whatever. Negative self-talk, basically. And realizing that that's not what you want to be, first of all, hearing from yourself, and that's not also exactly what you want to be telling yourself or giving to yourself. You know that there's something that you're working towards, and you want it to be rooted in healing and growth and rest and love and playfulness, rather than shame and guilt. Okay, so placing this boundary for yourself, telling yourself, I will no longer disrespect myself with this negative self-talk. A huge part of your healing, I'm hearing that you're going to be understanding this week, is you telling yourself, I'm going to be resting. Okay, putting the boundary out for yourself to say, this is my time to rest. This is my time to eat my meal and not feel the need to rush through it. This is my time to play. Just not rushing yourself through your week, or just through your experiences in the nearby future. Not rushing yourself is going to help you be more present and feel this enchantedness of yourself. And then you see too, again, with the 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, all of these cups are trying to tell you that your energy is going to be running over, like flowing over. And you see water over here as well with the Hanged One. The amount of water present, the amount of the cups present, is a presence of abundance. You have a presence of power and ability. You have water over here with the High Priestess as well. You finally tune into your ability to be present, and therefore you're present with your abundance, and therefore your manifestations seem to be at your fingertips. It no longer feels like this faraway thing that you're reaching or working towards, because you're integrating the self. There's a quote, and let me try to think. Desiring something new or something more is a subtle rejection of the current self. Okay, and I think that that's what the highlight of the ceremony over here, as far as honor how far you've come. What about your present life can you enjoy? You see the Queen of Cups over here, just sitting on a countertop. She's not really doing much except for enjoying the space that she is currently in. She feels comfortable in her space. Even with the Hanged One, she feels comfortable in her space. The Three of Cups and the Two of Cups, they seem very comfortable, very relaxed, very in tune. They're happy to be there. And there's nothing really too extraordinary about any of these scenes other than the nature that's present, but nothing materialistically overwhelming other than presence, and that can be with yourself, with your spirit self, or even with a partner. Maybe you have a new discovery with a partner this week, or a friendship or a relationship in your life. But either way, you're honoring how far you've come and exactly what there is in your current life to be grateful for. There's a past self, a past version of you who wasn't integrated with the ego, and they would have killed to get to where you are right now. And just honoring that version of you and telling that version of you, hey, we made it, we're safe, we're happy, we are present, we're working towards even greater things, but we're also healing our vibration. We're finding the ability to play and the ability to rest and to eat and nourish ourselves, rather than continuing to grasp at more and more and more. The whole idea behind desire is that it's an emotion. It doesn't need to be satiated. Desire does not need to be fulfilled. Sometimes it just needs to be felt. Telling yourself, oh, I desire this thing, and then still enjoying your day and not making it a condition of your joy is going to help you be, again, present for this moon. I think I'm going to do a separate reading for the full moon, because there's seems to be a big highlight on it, but the full moon could be a very powerful time for you guys to, again, sit in this energy, start a ceremony, start journaling, just being intentional with your time and what you really want to be doing right now. We have Job over here that says, love what you do and do what you love. So any time that you spend this week doing something that you don't feel like you're enjoying yourself, consider looking at how you can minimize its space in your life. Okay, can you have less of this experience in your life? Maybe it's an actual change to your literal job. Maybe it's a title or a responsibility you have in your life that you're just not enjoying anymore, and so it's time to move on, it's time to let go. That can be really helpful. The full moon can be really helpful for that, for letting things go and letting things move on. And I think that's, again, why water is so present for us this week, because we're going to have a lot of letting things flow. Things are going to come to our attention, but it doesn't need to be like earth-shattering. It just needs to be, awareness needs to be brought to it. It doesn't need to come with a whole entire whirlwind or spiral of I need to change everything, I need to do everything differently. It's more of, oh wow, that's a truth, or that's a perspective I was unaware of. And that's, again, kind of getting comfortable with this upside down position, the Hanged One and the Bat, is seeing the opportunity in the ability to be on the other side of something, and it not mean that you're a completely different person, okay? Knowing that you are fluid, you are flexible, you are able to be different modalities of the self, and that's what makes it so easy for you to be present, because you can shift and you can shape and form into what you want to be each day. It doesn't have to be a static or a specific thing. You're allowed to find this Ace of Wands is kind of showing you like you're able to find a new version of you every day, or just a, same version of you, but a new way to express yourself. The Ace of Wands is also showing us like this very new relationship with the self. You kind of find a new position. It's almost like seeing a little sprout burst through the mud. it's like that kind of like unfurling, or if you were to be a butterfly coming out of your cocoon, it's that finally getting to stretch your wings and feel allowed to exist unconditionally kind of energy surrounding this full moon, calling on that energy and empowering yourself to revel in it instead of judging yourself and minimizing it too. Again, this is going to take your energy, your will, to make sure you're integrating, you're recognizing the negative self-talk, or you're recognizing the ego, and asking yourself, how much space does this ego need? Does it need less space so that the high priestess can have more room to feel this kind of stretching and elongating of the self, this freedom to flow in and out, and to feel abundant in the here and now rather than when something comes true for you? And over here, I want to highlight again the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups. Both of these cats are giving the energy of like just not worrying. Everything is taken care of. I don't need to be hyper vigilant right now. I don't need to be hyper aware of everything going on. I don't need to worry about how things are going to manifest. I just need to know what I want and that it's coming to me because I want it. Okay, it wouldn't be present on your mind if it wasn't for you. I'm going to read visions, at least probably the let out with the wolves. Yeah, I'm gonna read them both. With visions, it says, now is not the time for work and production for you. It might be a slower time, but you need to be more still now. You have access currently to new ideas and visions for your future makings. It is also a good time to be alone, to better have closeness with all this information you are receiving. Exactly. I don't know if I said it specifically, but so much information about yourself, so many perspectives are going to be entering your awareness. It does not need to cause an earthquake in your foundation of self. Be accepting. Use it as a brick to add to what you have already built, honoring where you've come from, but it doesn't call for this entire reinvention of the self. It's more of an adding to the self, okay? Experiencing the self in a new way. And again, with this rest and this recuperation, it's not about implementing new things necessarily. It's just about being aware and being with the self, being present with the self, understanding these perspectives, things that are going on currently that offer you opportunities to experience life in the way you are desiring or fantasizing about. We see daydreams and stars. Making a vision board, I think, is going to be huge, especially with the full moon. Doing some sort of physical representation of what you want to call on or bring into your life, being specific about what you desire rather than making a plan to do everything right and put pressure on yourself. Put some pressure on the universe and say, thank you, universe, for getting me this far. Okay, honor where you've been and how far you've come. Thank you, self, for getting this far. Now here's what we're working towards. Here's what's coming into my life, and I'm so excited. I'm so blessed to be on this journey. Just trusting that you're moving towards these beautiful, bright things. I'm gonna read this one too. Let's see, it says 35. It says, left out with the wolves. The air is electric because it's night, and what lingers within the darkness may or may not devour you. Your courage and cunning can work through the most terrifying of obstacles. You have been left out with the wolves to learn from them, how to live amongst them without being hurt, and how to imitate their ways. There may be a time where you will need to pull out the fierce ability to hunt without the guidance of the sun. Overcoming your fears will bring valuable tools. Yes, okay. So this is coming back to the devil over here and the shadow self and the ego. The ego presents in a strong manner when we are in situations, in relationships or experiences when we need defense, when we need protection, okay? And eventually it becomes habit for us to reach into this defense when maybe these wolves or these eyes are actually just little house cats instead of someone who is actually trying to hurt you. And again, believing someone can hurt you and them actually being able to hurt you are sometimes different. Sometimes you are in danger and sometimes you need that protection, but I think the point of this card coming up is you being able to be aware of when you can let the defenses go, when you can come back to the self and feel validated by the self rather than needing to defend yourself and therefore needing to be validated by these wolves. Screw the wolves, screw the eyes, screw the ego. Coming back to yourself and allowing yourself to be this soft cat, to be the house cat yourself rather than the wolf or, the lion of yourself. This softness that you're implementing into yourself, your higher self, the high priestess here. It's not that you are weak. It's not that you are less than. It's that you are safe enough to create even the soft parts that you desire. You're allowed to desire soft parts about your life instead of this hyper independency or hyper hustle. I guess I'm hearing, okay, this kind of overworking, you've done it all for yourself, yada yada yada. We kind of get caught up in trying to prove our worth to the rest of the world instead of just feeling inherently worthy. And I think that it might feel like something's been flipped upside down for you this week, and it might be offering you the opportunity to shift your relationship with abundance, with yourself, with your softness or your boundaries. Those boundaries, again, are going to help you protect that softness that you desire in your life. And it's funny too, because seeing the visions here, it seems like you desire quite beautiful and bright things, and it seems almost science fiction or fantasy. If you really think about it or talk about it to the wrong person, they'll kind of tell you it's make-believe, and that's okay. You're allowed to dream as big and as wild and as unique as you wish to. That's the whole point, is that if you fit within a box, are you really feeding your soul, or are you just feeding the ego who wishes to prove to the rest of the eyes or the wolves or the people who draw the boxes that you're doing something right? Keeping yourself in the forefront, your relationship with yourself, as the main point of what this week is bringing you. Keep that in mind as you go forward. Focus on the moon, focus on your intentions, and focus on being open to understanding and receiving new information and adding it to what you have built already, rather than feeling like you know nothing just because new information has been presented. It's all valid, it's all relevant. Stay grounded too, I'm hearing very strongly. We have a lot of green energy. Stay grounded, do what you need to, go into nature, even find the water in your life that will help you be present with these things. Find rest, do what it takes to be okay with this information. Take your time. Don't put yourself in the middle of the wolves either too, recognizing the part that you play in these relationships with the wolves. Can you walk away from certain things that are tiring you? And I think we talked about that a little bit earlier regarding this week. Things that don't feel like love. Here it says, do what you love what you do. If you don't love it, try to find a way to walk away from it. If it doesn't feel like love to you, put up a boundary. Don't let it fester. Don't let it, come through your boundaries. Don't let it permeate the self-respect that you are building. So that's all I'm seeing for the week of May 28th through June 4th. Thank you so much for being here today. If you have a chance, I post a list of affirmations with each reading on Pinterest and on Patreon, so check it out. It'll be linked in the description box below. Have a wonderful week. See you next week.